Good morning, y'all. It's currently August 8th. It is 8:13 in the morning. I just got back from the gym. If you listen to episode 10, if you listen to the last episode, I think I mentioned that I was going to the gym. So I just got back from the gym. I feel amazing. I feel great. I actually went to two gyms. It's the same gym, but two different locations of the same gym, which is Fusion Gyms out in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Dope gym. I'm probably gonna go back later today. After this, after I shoot this episode, I'm gonna go. I'm actually going kayaking. So yeah, I'm gonna drop two episodes because episode 10 is currently like rendering, which I don't understand why it takes so long to render these episodes. It's literally just a black screen, but it's rendering. I'm gonna upload that before I leave to go kayaking and get some drone shots of just things. But what I learned at the gym today about myself, well, not necessarily about myself, but what I learned is you miss every shot you don't take. So while I was at the second location, because the first location didn't have a basketball court. The first location didn't have a basketball court. The second location had 3 basketball courts actually. So I took out a ball, started playing, started shooting around or whatever, trying to make threes. I wasn't making any shots at all. I made maybe like 5 threes out of like, I want to say 100, but it wasn't that many. I don't think I've shot that many shots. But then I started to say, you know what, I'm gonna experiment. I wanted to experiment with something. So I went to the free throw line and I started shooting free throws. And if you know me, you know I can't play basketball for nothing. Like, I'm gonna post some of the video on Instagram, and I can't play basketball for anything. I'm more of a football guy. I can dissect football like it's nothing, but basketball is just not one of those sports for me. So yeah, I started shooting free throws, started shooting them. Then I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna shoot 100 free throws and see how many I make out of the 100. So I start shooting it, and I made about, I want to say like 18 or 19 free throws, which is bad. It's bad, but the positive side of it is that's 18% more than somebody that didn't shoot any free throws today. So you miss every shot you don't take. And the crazy thing about it too is, once I was getting down to like the last bit, I started hitting my stride. So I think out of the first like 50, I only probably made like 10. No, I'm lying. Out of the first 50, I made about like 5, 6, right? And then out of the last 20, I made like 12. And I just started hitting my stride. And I feel like it's dope because I actually went over 100 because I made 48, I made 49, and I made 50. And then I was like, I'm gonna just keep going. Until I miss. I made 51 and then I missed 52. So that was the end of that. So yeah, then I went into the sauna and I realized that there's a method to the madness, kind of, because the sauna, for me, if you know me again, I love being in saunas. I love being in spas, jacuzzis, and I was thinking, I'm like, yo, I see a lot of people do like ice baths in the morning, and I think that's something else that I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start doing ice baths in the morning, and I always wanted a sauna in my crib, in my house, so I'm not gonna buy one now, but sometime in like the near future, I'm gonna buy a sauna, and that's just gonna be the routine. I'm gonna wake up, ice bath, before I go to sleep, sauna. At least 10-15 minutes in the sauna. But all of that is a digression. It's just my opening monologue before I get into this episode. And this episode is called Putting Yourself First is Not Selfish. And just based on the title, well, before I start that, let's delve into the book and see if we can learn something about ourselves today. I got to make that a habit of actually saying it. Putting yourself first is not selfish. And just based off the title, I agree. It's not so, like, people are gonna suffer from your, not necessarily your absence, but once they realize, like, yo, like, Once you realize you've been putting everybody first other than yourself is not working out for you. And I said it. I think I said it. I've been saying it, but put the people that put you second. You just straight like that. Like realize it might take time, but realize the people aren't there for you, whether you need them or not. Sometimes you got to test people too. Whether you really need them or not, you got to put them in a situation to show up for you. If they don't show up for you, keep it pushing. Simple as that. So that's just my little opening thought. Not little, but those are just my thoughts going into it. Let's see what this chapter is all about. He says, we all see this world in terms of ourselves. We all have interests and needs that need to be met first. This isn't selfish. Selfish is when you don't allow others to do their own thing and expect them to conform to what you want. You don't want people restricting how you get to live your life, so don't do it to others. I agree with that. Focusing on yourself is really one of the least selfish things you can do. It puts you in a position to be empathetic to others who are also trying to focus on themselves. You can develop an I'ma do me, you do you mindset, which can create an environment that lets people grow on their own terms. Scary idea for a control freak. I can say I have somewhat of control freak tendencies because I have a vision and I see the vision, and if I'm trying to put people in a place so that the vision comes to fruition, then it can come off as controlling, but it's not. It is controlling. It is controlling. I'm gonna be honest. It is controlling. And I've come to the conclusion to just what he just said is just let people do whatever they do. If they end up in a space that I believe that they're gonna make it to, cool. And if they don't, cool. It's just not meant to be. So yeah, just it is what it is. Like, let people live the life that they want to live, because you don't want nobody trying to change the life that you want to live. Instead of trying to find that right person for you, focus on becoming the right person for yourself. That's it. That's the end of this pod. That's the end of this series. There's nothing else that needs to be said. There's absolutely nothing else that needs to be said. Once you are comfortable and perfect with yourself, that's it. Focus on becoming the right person for yourself. Once you need nothing, you gain everything. That's the one right there. That's it. For me, that's it. But we gonna continue. The people you appreciate will general. I can't say the word. The people, I should have read this before. This is another benefit of not reading it before I before I actually record the podcast. Or I keep saying this podcast before I record the series. So I can't say the word generally. People who appreciate you genuinely be the people who appreciate you. So be around them and work on being the type of person you want around. So show up for people the way you want them to show up for you. Simple. And the people that are usually around you are the people that appreciate being around you. So appreciate them. And if you're not around anybody, appreciate yourself. Because that's kind of like the mindset that I'm on right now. I don't want to, not necessarily not be around people, but I'm limiting my interactions with people because I'm still on a journey right now. I'm still on a journey. Putting yourself first is an act of survival as well. We can all easily drain ourselves trying to accommodate the whims of others. We can spend our entire life trying to make other people happy and realize we have no life left for ourselves. It's not romantic to think about how really self-indulgent we all are, but it doesn't take away from that fact. If you understand that people work according to their interests, it's easier to work with them and get along. Agree. And it sounds selfish. It sounds selfish when you realize that most people are only doing what's going to benefit them. It sounds selfish, but it's not. It's not at all, because you should be doing the same thing. I'm not saying only, but you should majority only do things that benefit you, or I don't know how to explain it. Like you can be there for someone else, but you got to know that the person that you're being there for will reciprocate with no hesitation. So it's kind of self-serving. You know what I mean? If you're gonna get, it's kind of like a loan. If I'm helping you out with something, and I know you're gonna help me out with something, and if the time never comes to where the time doesn't come to where I need you for anything, it doesn't matter because that's life. You're never supposed to do something to get something. It's a quote about that. I can't remember. Oh, I got it. They say you find out who people really are the way they treat people when they don't need them. So the way you treat people when you don't need them and you don't think you'll ever need them is who you truly are. And some people could be like extremely mean and savage towards people that they feel like they don't need, but I feel like you never know what type of situation you could be in. Like, life is somewhat of a seesaw. Like, you could be up today and be completely down tomorrow. Somebody could be down today and be completely up tomorrow. So, and you might need they hand to get you back to where you need to be. So that goes into just treating everybody fairly, as long as they, you know what I mean, as long as they not on a rude, crazy thing towards you, you know what I mean? You get the respect that you give. So it's intricate. It's very intricate. He goes on to say, everyone wants to know what it is, what is in it for them. Respect the ideal, and everyone will benefit from the reaction. Basically, everybody goes into a situation thinking, what am I going to gain from this? And sometimes you can just gain experience. Sometimes you can gain financial gain. You can gain there's plenty of things you can gain. You can gain love. You could gain knowledge. You could gain just whatever. You could go. You should go into most situations knowing that you're going to gain something out of it. And even if it's just gaining time to spend with somebody that you care about, or being able to whatever they need you for, and you picking his brain, you gain a little bit of knowledge and on the way. It's every situation is not like dreadful. If someone asks you for help, look at the positive side of what you can gain from it. Not necessarily asking the person, oh, what are you going to do for me? But you got to take out from the situation what you want to take out from it, basically. Selfish isn't pursuing what you want in life. It's when you're also helping others in theirs. We all have things and people we're enthusiastic about. Help them. Find joy in doing so. I'm a product of all the support, and I appreciate you all for it. That's a fact. I got a decent support system, and a lot of people keep telling me to write a book. I don't know, maybe. I agree though. I agree. I am a product of the people that I've met in my life and the people that I have in my life, and I've taken a lot of their characteristics and put it onto myself. So I'm really kind of like, I was gonna say like Captain Planet of it. Like everybody that's around me has like something that they're like extremely well in, and I adopted that to take part of it. Like one of my best closest friends, Rum, shout out to Rum. He cooks very well, and he's the one that got me into fish tanks and everything like that, aquatic lifestyle. So I've adapted. He doesn't notice. Well, he does notice, but when back in the days when I used to go to his house like so often, like almost every weekend, and we used to just cook. We used to just cook all the time. Well, he used to cook, and I used to just watch. And I feel like he's one of the reasons why, even though I went to a culinary school, he's one of the reasons why I cook the way I do, because he's like an amazing chef. And he's also an amazing father. So I know when my time comes to be an amazing father, he's going to be one of the people that I go to. It's like, yo, like, I need help. Like, you know what I mean? If I need help with something, or you know what I mean? He is just that guy in that aspect. And I got other friends for other things that make me who I am. So I agree. I am a product of the people that I have around me. And I appreciate them for them. I'm not in a position to help everyone, nor am I motivated to do so. So I focus on those I can and want to help, which is true. Don't overextend yourself. If someone, hypothetically, if you got $7 in your bank account, and someone comes and asks you for 5, you can't give them that 5. Like, you got to make sure that you good first. You're not in a position to help somebody right now. You know what I mean? So, although you might want to help somebody and give them your last, you can't do that. And you could be honest with if you're on that level, you can be honest with the person. Like, listen, like, I don't got it myself. Like, I'm trying, you know what I mean? I'm trying to find a way out this hole, or whatever the case may be. If you don't have it, even if somebody's asking you for time and you slump for time, you got a bunch of projects, whatever the case may be, you got work. Don't necessarily call out of work to help somebody, to give somebody some time. Like, if you don't have the time, just, the person should be able to understand. Like, you can be able to, like, oh, I got you next time, or, yeah, I mean, it's just, don't overextend yourself, and don't lose yourself helping other people. Social obligations and being around people you don't want to be around is just a waste of time. Facts. It's been plenty of times where, I wouldn't say plenty of times, but I can remember times where I just knew I didn't want to deal with a situation, but I would still do it. And now it's just like, nah, I'm good. And I don't even put myself in the situations for people to even ask me to do things anymore. Like, they already know it's not, I'm not doing it, bro. Like, or I'll tell them straight up, because I have a very low social battery, so I could be out for like, after like 2 hours, an hour and a half, I'm ready to just be back by myself and just chilling. That's always how I've been. Just always how I've been. And people that know me and been out around me, they could see the switch in me. Like, if I go to a party, or if I'm out like at a dinner or whatever the case may be, and the time is ticking, they're gonna see the switch where I'm active, I'm sociable, I'm having fun, I'm having conversation, and then at a point I'm just gonna retreat back to myself. I'm gonna be there, but I'm not gonna be there, if that makes sense. It's just I'm just ready to go home and just, or not even necessarily go home. I'm just ready to just be alone. Like, I just have a low social battery, and it drains very quickly. So knowing little things like that about yourself will get you out of a lot of situations, because you can explain that to somebody and be like, oh, yo, let's go to this party, let's do this, let's do that. You could be like, yo, all right, we could do that, but I'm only gonna be there for like an hour and a half, so maybe you should drive your own car, because I'm gonna drive my own car, and I want to be able to leave whenever I want to leave. Like, I don't want to be trapped. I don't want to come pick you up and then have to drive you home, and you want to be at the spot for like 7 hours. It's not gonna work for me, because now I'm gonna just be aggy, and I'm gonna piss everybody off, and I'm not trying to do that. So knowing those little things about yourself is like essential. It's okay to let people know that you're not excited to be around them. If anything, that'll keep them from having to be around them much longer, which is true. And I've started doing that. Not necessarily telling people I'm not excited to be around them, but I'll tell people, like I just said in the last example, like, my battery drained, and I'll be like, yo, my battery drained, and they'll understand, like, all right, cool, let's wrap it up, let's get out of here. Or I'll be like, I don't know, like, it's not giving what it's supposed to give, and I just make my exit. You know what I mean? Especially if I drove my own car and I'm not obligated to like bring anybody back home or anything like that. I'm out. I'm ghost. This is not happening. I come home, I shower, and I just chill, scroll Instagram. You know what I mean? Or just be around. So, yeah, it's not selfish. That's not selfish to put yourself first, and learning yourself in this process, and learning what your little tweaks, or what grinds your gears, or what situations you can be in, or what situations you shouldn't be in, what people you should keep around, what people you shouldn't keep around, what people you can sort of prioritize like after yourself, and what people should not be a priority to you at all, what situations, what jobs. Just at the end of the day, you're gonna be with you 100% of the time for the rest of your life. From the day you was born to the day you pass, you're the only person that's with you 100% of the time. So everything that you do, everything you deal with, is you doing and dealing with. So make sure you prioritize you. And I believe that's the end. I think that's the end of this episode. I think I'm done. It's already been 20 minutes. Sheesh. I'm about to go kayaking. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna record episode 12. So I may. Oh, and I gotta drop off a painting today. Not a painting, a canvas. I gotta drop off a canvas. I'll tell you about that story as well one day. But I think this is the end of this episode. So hopefully you learned something about yourself today. Hopefully you in the process of learning something about yourself, because some days you might not. Some days you might not learn something. Some of these episodes might not resonate with you, but hopefully it might be the opposite. It might not. You may completely disagree with me, but at the same time, you're learning something. It's opening your eyes or opening your ears to, a different perspective, a different view on how you see things. And you don't have to agree with me. If you don't agree with me, that's even better, because I don't want to live in an echo chamber. I want people to disagree with me and tell me that I'm completely wrong. Other than that, y'all have a good day. It's Saturday. Hopefully y'all be safe. I'm uploading 2, maybe 3 episodes today. 2, maybe 3 episodes today. Peace.